Fox, thank you, brother. He says, stop. This is what I want. I want the second pick behind the Raiders. I want Hunter, lockdown cover corner. I want Darnold. He will reach the receivers. I want to get better now, not tomorrow. And I want Pederson, Doug Pederson, I'm guessing, from the Jags. What do you guys think of that? That's kind of what you mentioned about if you sign Darnold, obviously would be the future. He's not a bridge. He would be your guy. Could you guys get on board with that? Would you get on board with signing a guy like Darnold and drafting a Travis Hunter, or do you want Cameron Ward?
I definitely can't get on board with Doug Pederson. Absolutely
Hell
not.
no.
I have never thought that he was a good head coach. I thought that Eagles team was pretty stacked that he won a Super Bowl with, and there was a lot of luck down the stretch there, and I will never give them true credit for that because I hate the Eagles. But I also just think Doug Pederson's done a terrible job with the Jaguars. I don't think he's a good coach. That would be a disaster. I would lose all hope. If there's a sliver of hope left in me in this New York Giants team, it's gone if they hire Doug Pederson.
Yeah.
The Pederson thing aside, let's wipe that. I wouldn't want Pederson either. I wouldn't want a guy that's been fired from 2 jobs.
Darnold failed once in New York. I don't think he's going to succeed just because he changes his helmet.
I don't think he'd want to come back to New York either, Darnold.
There's no way.
My thing with Darnold is he's had one good year. So everyone hates Daniel Jones because he got paid for one good year. But you like Sam Darnold, who's going to get paid for one good year? Hell no.
And if you're Darnold, you're going from Kevin O'Connell, who's one of the best quarterback coaches in the league. And if we fire Daboll, who knows who's the head coach for the New York Giants?
And if we don't fire Daboll, he's gonna hear everything from Daniel Jones about what happened with Daboll, and you think he's gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go."
Daniel Jones never buy his beer. Yep.
Yeah,
they're friends too. Darnold and Jones have been friends.
I still think it's ironic that both of those guys ended up. All they got to do now is get Zach Wilson to be the third string guy in a perfect wait. You have all the New York busts ending up in Minnesota. It'd be great.
But Andy hit it on the head, by the way. He hit it on the head. That's when I read that super chat. That's the first thing I thought.
Pederson,
Doug Pederson is awful. Like we complain about some of the analytical decisions that Brian Daboll makes, and I can't stand it. Like when he went, I at least try to make sense of it when he does it. But when he went for 2, when the Giants were down 14 2 weeks in a row, I was like, "What the hell are you doing?" But I expected it the second time around because he did it the first. Doug Pederson does shit like that all the time. I remember watching when he was the Eagles head coach.
He's an ass.
Like I'm all for analytics. I think it's you want to be as broad as you can, but I view it as like a tool. It shouldn't be the entire toolbox. And Doug Pederson, at least from my experience of watching him coach the Philadelphia Eagles, he almost exclusively coaches off of.
I said the Eagles won that in spite of him.
Off a chart. So I would want nothing to do with Doug Pederson. Nothing. But what I will say, if we fire Brian Daboll, to Clark's point, I don't want Pederson Cox, but I would prefer to have a head coach with some experience as being a head coach in the NFL. My personal preference. It didn't work out with Joe Judge. Brian Day, in a perfect world, and I don't know who that would be. Maybe Mike Vrabel, but I would prefer to have a head coach with some experience if we were going to go that route and fire Daboll.
Yeah. Well, it's probably not going to be Belichick because he interviewed for the North Carolina job. So
it
will be Belichick. I'm holding out hope.
Yeah, he's not coming here at all.